The country using AI the most is not in Europe or Americas, it is actually in the Middle East. This is the global AI usage by country according to Anthropic. North America stands out with the US at 3.7 and Canada at 3.15. A score above 1 here means higher than average usage, while below 1 means lower usage. Europe is also above average overall, with countries like France at 2.66 and UK at 2.6. Actually, this data is about Claude AI usage specifically, but as Claude is quite popular, I think it can be used as a proxy for general AI usage. But the real outlier here is Israel with a score of 4.9. So they use AI around nearly 5 times above the global average. In Asia, South Korea is among the highest at 3.12. Japan and Taiwan are more moderate but still higher than 1. Looking at this map, it's clear that AI adoption today closely follows economic development. The pattern looks very similar to many economic or development maps. I would guess that it also depends on the education level and literacy rate, but also if you don't have internet connection, you can't ask your ChatGPT to make a recipe from whatever is left in your fridge, right? South America is closer to average, with Brazil slightly below and Peru slightly above. Some countries barely use AI. For example, in Africa, the scores are close to 0. Tanzania has the absolute minimum of 0.03. In some regions like Russia and China, data is not available. Would be interesting to know their score. AI gets all the info to answer your questions, not where you would expect. Google and YouTube, although the biggest platforms, are not in top 3. Top source is Reddit with slightly over 11% share of citations. Quite surprising, right? Then we have LinkedIn on second spot. Their traffic is much lower than giants like Google or YouTube, with their 88 billion and 45 billion monthly visits. Reddit has only 5 billion. It should be about how people use these platforms. So LLMs, being large language models such as ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, etc. I think they rely mostly on answer-rich platforms. So this is why Reddit is number 1. Then comes LinkedIn with more professional content and blogs. On those platforms, users actively create content, discussions, opinions, explanations, things that answer questions basically. And as on YouTube or Google, people mainly go there to consume content, not to create it. Wikipedia is on third place, which is not surprising. Students have to get their essays from somewhere, right? Facebook is also large in monthly visits, but still a bit lower here, because people post mostly personal content there. Medium, with their long read blogs, ranks surprisingly high, although it's not visited that often. There are also more niche sources like Mapbox and OpenStreetMap, which likely help formulate travel itineraries or give info about different locations. There are more academic and research platforms like ScienceDirect and ResearchGate, and more business-related platforms like Forbes and Business Wire. Interestingly, coding platforms like GitHub are not here. I would thought they would be quite high, as many people use AI for programming. Here is the top countries by online population, meaning how many people have internet access. China leads with around 1.3 billion people online, followed by India with about 1 billion. Even though India recently became the most populous country, overtaking China, it still lags behind by internet users by roughly 300 million. The United States comes next with around 323 million, followed by Indonesia and Brazil. Then we have countries each with slightly above 100 million: Russia, Pakistan, Mexico, Nigeria, and Japan. What's especially interesting is that in countries like India, Pakistan, and Nigeria, a large share of the population is still not online. In some cases, only about half to 2/3 have internet access. That means hundreds of millions of people are yet to come online in the near future, as these countries will try to catch up with the rest. And this will likely impact AI adoption as well. More internet users means more AI users. Speaking of those who has never used internet, here is the map of such people in Europe. I'm quite surprised to see that there are plenty of places where everybody used internet at least once, literally close to 100%. This is mostly Northern and Western Europe, countries like Ireland, the Lowlands, Nordics, and Switzerland. I would thought these numbers would be much lower due to many small villages and old people living in them. Other countries with around 5% of people never using the internet, including Finland, Estonia, Germany, Germany, Belgium, France, and Spain. And in the south of Europe, it goes a bit higher. For example, Portugal shows around 15% of people who have never been online. And really, in Portugal, you have an ocean view, wine is cheaper than water, and the climate is very nice. Why would you need internet in such a heaven? You can literally buy bottles of good wine at the supermarket and they would cost less than bottles of water. I can imagine going completely off-grid in such place, so for some, there is no need to even discover online. Similar we can say about Greece, Turkey, and the part of Balkans. In southern Italy, although there is a population divide with northern Italy, the north with Milan as center is more developed economically, quite corporate, people are more progressive and calm there. In the south, Italians are more relaxed, smiling and enjoying the sun. Eastern Europe is also lower on internet usage, Poland, Lithuania, Bulgaria. Eastern Turkey in black, you see the lowest usage with 20% of people who have never accessed the web. AI could theoretically perform the majority of tasks in some jobs, but currently it's far from that. A report from Anthropic shows theoretical AI coverage of different tasks and observed coverage across different occupations. And the gap is quite significant right now. The highest current AI coverage is in fields like business and finance, computer science and math. Around 30% of tasks are already covered with AI tools. Tasks in these fields are more analytical and digital, and the coverage can go as high as 90%. So most of AI's potential here is still untapped. No wonder people are concerned about jobs. I don't believe AI will massively steal jobs, but it would rather transform what people do, outsourcing basic and routine tasks to AI, while humans will only supervise and take big calls. So many years from now, each of us will probably be a commander of a small AI agents army. I hope. Office and admin work and sales functions are also quite supported with AI. Fields like law, education, and media show moderate adoption, but still plenty of room to grow. Some fields have high potential but very low current usage like management, architecture, and engineering. Other areas like social services, life, and social sciences are still low on AI usage. It's clear why we don't hurry with letting AI into these fields, as they require a human touch or a human connection. Are you going to let some kind of AI assistant to take care of your grandparents? I don't think so. And in all these other fields, AI has low potential. You can see transportation, construction, agriculture, and all of these require some degree of manual or physical work. Someone said that in the age of AI, if you want your job to be secured, become a truck driver or a plumber. True, but I wonder whether it's temporarily though, because right now the AI is only in chats and similar online tools. But let's see where it goes in 10 years. Maybe it will become more physical. We will have different kinds of robots walking on the streets with AI brains, and we will have robot plumbers, robot drivers, robot waiters, and so on. Let's see. Also, I wonder where do self-driving cars stand and the role of AI in those. This technology is already quite developed in the US and China. According to Gartner, we're currently still in the phase where AI is taking more jobs than it creates. Right now, it's roughly around 2 million jobs lost versus about 1 million created. So yes, it doesn't sound great. But by 2029, things are expected to balance out. Around 6 million jobs lost and created. And by 2030, AI could actually become net positive, with around 7 to 8 million jobs created versus about 6.5 million lost. So basically, AI can get from taking jobs to creating more than it takes. Just takes a few years to get there. And there is another big piece. Not just jobs lost or gained, but jobs changing. Over 30 million jobs are expected to be significantly transformed every single year. And here is an important note. This data excludes China and India, which is kind of wild considering how massive those job markets are. So the real global picture could look quite different with those countries included. 2030 is not that far away, so let's see how accurate this forecast will be. Welcome to Data Jungle. If you enjoyed watching this video and like exploring interesting maps, data or else, make sure you like and subscribe.